Hey everybody, it's your old pal Jazz McKay here, and we're being told to accept the election results from the exact same people who refused to accept election results 4 years ago. Well, you just can't make that shit up. Repetition makes a supposed fact seem to be more believable, regardless of whether it's true or not. And understanding this fact can help you avoid falling for propaganda. We'll talk about that right after this. Before we go any further, please subscribe to my channel and click on that little bell so you get notified every time we've posted a new video, which we do pretty regularly. Repeat the lie often enough, and it becomes the truth. That is the law of propaganda, and it's often attributed to this guy. Yeah. That is a Nazi. That's a real Nazi, too, by the way. Not one of these imaginary Nazis. I mean, a real Nazi. That is the minister of propaganda under the Adolf Hitler regime. His name is Joseph Goebbels, boys and girls. A real Nazi, okay? Now, Joseph Goebbels was also famous for something else. Did you know that Goebbels had no balls? It's true. Hitler, he only had one ball. Goring had two but very small. Hitler was also similar, but Goebbels had no balls at all. Okay, that's enough. Stop it. Much too silly.
Quite agree. Silly. Right, get on with it.
Yeah, okay. So, anyway, repeat a lie often enough and it becomes the truth. Now, among psychologists, something like this is known as the illusion of truth effect. And here's how a typical experiment in a recent study proved this. Participants in the study were given a questionnaire. Okay, where they're asked questions like, what is a prune? A dried apple, B, a dried pomegranate, or C, a dried plum. And of course, everybody gets the answer correct. It's a dried plum, but they're not told whether their answer is correct. Then the participants are given a list of what are called 50 facts. They're just simple sentences, right? But they're told they're facts. And they tell them to go home and they're instructed to read from this list every single day, this list of 50 so-called facts, and then return in a week. And one of the facts that's listed on this sheet says, quote, a date is a dried plum, right? Now, that's not true. A date is a date, and a prune is a dried plum, and they already know this because they have answered the question correctly the first day they were taking part in the survey. So the next week, they're asked to come back, and they read them a list of questions that they are then to answer as to be whether or not they're true or false, right? And one of the statements that they read to them is, quote, a prune is a dried plum, which is true, but this time the participants rate that as a false statement, even though it's a true statement, and they knew this a week earlier, but because they had been led to believe through repetition that it was a lie, they believed it was a lie. Now, the experiment was conducted with known facts, things that these people already knew as a fact, but through repetition of a lie, they began to believe that that lie was true. But what about unknown facts? Unknown because people just simply don't know better. It's not because they're stupid, but because they're not familiar with the data that backs up the fact. That's when the repetition of the lie makes it even easier to convince people to believe something that's simply not true. For instance, how many of you have ever heard something like this?
More music. This is your number one radio station.
Now, are they really the number one station? Do they really play more music? What if you heard that message all the time? Maybe you saw it in TV commercials or on billboards, or you listen to the radio station itself and you hear that number one with more music. Are they really number one? Do they really play more music? I mean, if you don't have the access to the data from the Arbitron rating system or the hourly playlist to compare to other radio stations in town, you might begin to believe that they are number one. And they do play more music because of the repetition of the message, man. I mean, perception is what? Perception is 90% of reality, right? Well, it works the same way with political propaganda. But, I mean, like, it used to be that it was the politicians and it was the consultants who lied to you repeatedly. But here in this modern world, man, that we live into now, we've got the lamestream media doing that job for them. The media has become the propaganda wing of political parties, in particular now the Democrat Party. And rather than keeping politicians in check by exposing their lies, the lamestream media are the ones that are repeating the lies. They're working in consort with the politicians, with the political party. In this case, in today's day and age, and right now, the Democrat Party. I mean, we just had an election, and at this point, we really don't know who won this thing. There's a lot of questions out there to be answered. Not all the states, for instance, have certified the results of their elections. The federal agency, which is the FEC, the Federal Elections Commission, hasn't certified anything. There are lawsuits and recounts going on. Hell, there are states that still haven't completed the first count yet. And what about the Electoral College, huh? The Electoral College doesn't meet and vote for another month, over a month, actually. And but yet, if you read the headlines in the lamestream media, it's settled. I mean, just take a look at some of these headlines right here. Yeah, we'll start off with this one here from one of our local television stations. ABC 23 says, Joe Biden elected president of the United States. No, he's not. No, he's not. But I'm sure you've got examples where you live, too. Here's another one. Biden calls for healing in an appeal to Trump voters after winning the presidency. He hasn't won the presidency yet. And, of course, the most popular headlines that you're going to see are these in relation to Kamala Harris being the first black woman and South Asian elected VP. They keep telling the lie long enough, you will eventually, I guess they figured you'll believe it. Kamala Harris becoming the first black. This is huge. You know, this is huge. The first black woman or South Asian woman or Indian woman, whatever, elected vice president. But she has not been elected vice president. So the decision is not yet final. Jeez. Oh, wow. Joseph Goebbels would be so proud of the American media.
Jawohl, I would like to take this moment to congratulate the American media who have obviously learned from me how to administer the proper propaganda. Congratulations, my friend. You have mastered my technique.
Oh, yes, bravo. Bravo, and congratulations to the lamestream media. You have made Joseph Goebbels so happy, so proud of the propaganda that you're spreading in this election. That's going to do it for this video. Coming up in my next video, we'll continue on this same topic, and I'll explain how they used good old Joe's technique to manipulate the polling data, plus Nancy Pelosi's big mandate lie. That'll all be in part 2 of Repetition Makes the Lie Believable to the Dumb Masses. Be sure and look for it right here on this channel, all right? God bless America. God bless our law enforcement, and death to the New World Order. I'm Jazz McKay, and I'll see ya. Well, thanks for watching. Be sure and like this video, subscribe to my channel, share to your social media, and leave nasty comments below. God bless America. and death to the New World Order.
See you next week. Same bat time, same bat station.